Welcome to Community Insight, the news that takes you above and beyond the scope. I'm Andre Hollywood Evans, and today our top story is our special guest, Mr. Clifton Braithwaite, who y'all know by now is running for city council at large, and we're going to be talking to him about his future endeavors and the other things he's got going on. Please welcome Mr. Clifton Braithwaite. Oh, I'm sorry, and along with my
Yes.
NellieMae. Can't forget about her.
Yes.
Forget about Nellie. Come on.
Not forget about Nellie.
Carrying the boat, man. Come on.
Yes.
Best way to start off with some humor, man.
Yeah,
What's up,
there you
man?
go.
For having me out here.
Yeah.
Oh, anytime.
Absolutely.
So,
Welcome
what
back.
you want to dive into, man?
Hey, man, I want to dive into the ocean. You know,
Oh, shit.
so what is your next move? Unfortunately, you didn't, politics can be a tricky business. And I understand that you work so hard, 30 years in the community, man. That's really noble, and, really appreciate you on behalf of the rest of the community.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
And
Thank you.
hope you keep up.
I first
work.
to thank God, first of all,
Absolutely.
for giving me the parents that He gave me to to understand what it is to give advocacy back in our community.
Right.
I started. We originally moved from Newton to Roxbury, and when I came in, I noticed that in Roxbury we didn't have newspaper routes at that time, and a lot of the elders, we used to go to the corner store for them and get the newspapers. And then I realized with an entrepreneurial spirit, because of my father, we created a newspaper route. It was my friend Pito, Sean Davis, and anybody that I forgot, I'm sorry, it's been a long time, but it was all the gang, Tice Ward, all the gang, Davis family, all of us, Williams family. We created a newspaper route to service our elders. And then I realized on my 8th birthday, a lot of people wasn't visiting the elders. So I just started using my birthday as a fundraiser to get the stuff that for them. So a lot of our newspaper route, I used that same money and flipped it right back into our community. So, I paid my team, and I was happy just to get the job done. And sometimes I still have that same type of philosophy.
Okay.
And I love what I do. It's not a job. It's an honor to serve our community.
Yes.
A lot of people, have their differences of what they believe and support in Boston. Is I can honestly say this city saved my life. I was able to start with music, sports. I got involved in activism, and everything that I learned was from like the Roxbury Y, YMCA, youth programs. So I know the importance of arts. I know the importance of having strong leaders in our youth programs, like Terry Walker, who was an inspiration, helped me get my first job at 13, working at the Roxbury Y with my same age group. But because I had leadership qualities in me, he was able to let me flourish and grow my leadership qualities. And that was at the Roxbury YMCA. So when we look at it, I have a grasping, working understanding coming from a well-to-do family and still understanding the problems that we face in our community. And I wasn't fortunate after 3 decades of doing this work and getting candidates on the ballot. And we won't go into what happened. We won't talk about the betrayal. We won't talk about that. We'll talk about that. Nothing can stop God's work. What I do is real.
That's right.
Absolutely.
I would be a voice at City Hall, even if I'm not at City Hall.
Yeah.
So I'm doing what they call a write-in candidacy, and we'll be revealing more things as it goes on, but my job doesn't stop.
Absolutely.
Like letting our community know about the Walgreens closings and understanding the significance of that. If I'm at City Hall, I'm not giving you the opportunity to make our community a desert, and that's what's going on right now. They knew about the Walgreens pulling out 15 years ago. That's why we weren't able to sue them at the city or state level. And, while I was here air hustling, you had Josh Kraft here, one of the candidates from there. You asked about the bus lanes.
Yeah.
Well, what happened
Yes,
actually, and I
absolutely.
notice a lot of people don't speak about it, so I'm going to give you the tea. That's what they say, right?
give 'em the
I'm going to
tea.
give you the tea. The tea is this. They got a certain amount of money from the federal level, and they had to actually use the money, or you couldn't get the money.
Really?
So it's that old theory of instead of fixing the whole street, they just fix the potholes and put sand and don't
Absolutely.
put it in there.
Yes.
So what it was to use the money to reframe. So what we need, like Kraft was speaking about, and also my man Domingo and the other candidates are running outside of what rules proposals are. is to have a clear, defined method of making this work. Because what people have to understand, if you never lost anybody on a bike, you wouldn't understand the pain and the movement that came behind the bike lanes, right? So you're fighting advocacies that want to make sure that there's safety on the bike. I lost many of cousins, many of friends on bike lanes. But what we have to have is a conclusive plan that works well with traffic, as well as the patrons who are riding bikes. And also, you bikers, it's the old theory. What do you think actually has in the shipping lanes? Who has priority? The little ship or the big ship?
Oh, wow. That is, I can't agree with that.
So the priority is the big ship.
Yeah.
Because
the
it
big
might
ship.
not be able to see the small ship because of the radar might not pick it up or whatever the case may be. So what I'm saying to you cyclists, you can't have this, I'm in the bike lane and a bus is turning and say I'm in the bike lane and keep riding because you might hit a blind spot. And then you're dealing with regular drivers, teenagers, adults, whoever, they're in their regular mad at the traffic and they just hit a bang. You have to also ride your bikes defensively. And as drivers, we have to get used to that the cars are not at the sidewalks anymore. So you have to be careful how you open up your door. And also, I learned the hard way, be very careful when you're walking in a bike lane because we got to get used to understanding that it's a bike lane. I almost got hit. So I'm telling you, we have a lot of learning. We want the Jetsons way of life. Well, there's going to be a lot of compromising to get to the Jetsons life.
That's right.
No flying cars.
You know, what was, isn't, and what's going to be is what we dictate by making sure that we get right representation on the city level.
Right.
And I'll close here, and you can bring me back wherever you want to wrap me up on. To me, anybody running for a city hall position, it's a nonpartisan role, people. It's nonpartisan. So what do I mean by nonpartisan? We service the people, has nothing to do with party. And the joy of being able to be your at-large city councilor is that I'll have the opportunity to work for Republicans, Democrats, Independents, but most of all, those that don't believe in the process. Because city engagement is working for those who don't believe in the process at the end of the day. Those who that deal in party politics are going to do the things that they do. But my job is to work for you and to help you and build committees, period. So we're going to do a write-in candidacy, and I think you're about to segue me into the fundraiser. All right. Since the age of 8, I've been doing fundraisers in our community.
Wow, nice.
And I'm 50-something years old now. I'm 59. And this year, I'm going to do a fundraiser. I already picked a veterans home right there by City Hall, the homeless shelter. And I want to raise some money. And this is what my vision and this is what my goal is. One, I'm going to need some help. Right? Two, I'm going to need some funding. But my goal is to do a big cookout down there for the veterans. And then also raise funds for those who are going back into their own living. So anybody with assisted living or moving on their own, I want to be able to get them some trinkets and things like that that they want for their home. So what we want to do is raise a certain amount of money, and then they will know how to allocate it to those who are going home or those who need coats or whatever the case may be. And you know, I'm going to need your help. It's my 53rd, 52nd fundraiser in the community. I really do the work. And, you know, let me circle back. My name's Clifton A. Braithwaite. I'm your Boston statesman. And what a statesman is the opposite from a politician. I actually do the work. There is no win or loss. I will always do the work for this community. I'm committed. Like this weekend, Mom's Michelle restaurant, Trinity Restaurant. I donated my time down there. All right. Because I know how it is for small business, and I'm a chef, right? But I went in there on the humble aspect of volunteering my time. I washed dishes all day, right? I helped prep certain foods, but the joy of being able to see a small businessman. Let me tell y'all something. She has a great following. There was no support, no media. They did a ribbon cutting beforehand, so I can't say that the mayor didn't know, right? She was fully aware of what went on the first cutoff. The day of the ribbon cutting, not one public official came there, and that place sold out by 5 o'clock. Okay. The next day, customers came again. There's even a video out there with me where there's a young lady that says she doesn't like sauce. Like she knows the family, right?
Yeah.
She's like, she don't like sauce on her food, boy. Why you messing with her? I went over there with a fork, with a little bit of the juice, and her reaction was like, this is good. So you'll see in the video where I say that we got to do a reenactment,
Yeah.
right? Because we caught her at the tail end, go, ooh, this was good. And she was, shy that it was good. But what we was trying to teach her was, and explain to her, to feel the full culture of good food, at least the first time, eat it the way that they design it. If you don't like it, then have a determination.
Absolutely.
So she ended up doing
That's
it,
right.
and it was called Doubles, the best doubles, Trinidadian doubles you'll get at a shop, which is at 5 Bowden Street. And I'm all about helping small businesses. When we were going through the COVID problem, we were down, Cindy Diggs, myself, and a few others. We were down in the Nubian Square area, helping the small businesses around there stay afloat. I'm not talking about it. I'm not going to talk bad about other candidates.
Yeah.
I'm not going to,
Yeah.
I believe they all have the right vision for a better Boston.
Right.
But my vision is not talk. My vision is actual practical work.
Yes.
I've gotten more
Yes.
men and women recognized for the work that they did, jobs. I've never asked for anything. I'm a go-getter, and I get the job done for the people.
Nice.
And that's what it's all about. Public service is about serving the people.
Yes.
And by the way, the fundraiser, we're going to juggle with the dates. My birthday's August 1st, but we might do it August 3rd, that Sunday.
Okay.
Because I'm going to be doing it down at New Dia.
Okay.
New Dia.
New Dia is a dispensary. They have a free community room.
Yeah.
And since also a part of the fundraiser that we're going to be doing, we're going to be talking about like the psychedelic drugs that are non-toxic drugs for veterans.
Yes.
So I want to highlight that other avenues instead of using man-made drugs. There's other
Absolutely.
avenues to bring in.
I agree with that.
I want to talk about small businesses
Yes.
and the importance of cannabis. And a lot of people don't know. We were there in the cutting edge of making it legal when it came to medical use.
Yeah.
And I remember the slammings of the doors. Good luck with that and all that. Now look where we're at.
Exactly.
And I was with the ground team. So that's what a lot of people don't know. I just don't pass up the flyers. I actually create the format for what we have to do. So while discussing that on the medical end, I got the vision beforehand that we also should talk about the inmates coming out, and they should have access to creating jobs since they already know how to do the marijuana better than everybody else.
Yeah.
And it's funny when you see the people from Newton that never did the herb or making more money than the people who were affected by it.
Exactly.
So, I want to talk about small business and stuff like that. And the bottom line is this: stop going for the banana and tailpipe trick. Bottom line is this: don't always look at the fruits of the money that are with these candidates. Look at the work and the dedication that they have. It's not about just me. I'm fortunate. I'm going to always do the work. I love this. This is what keeps me alive because I believe I have to give back to a city that gave me.
Yes.
Period.
Yes.
The city has been nothing but good to me. I could talk about the personal problems, but most of those, just like in the Bible itself, a scholar's not recognized in his own hometown. So sometimes the people who are close to you are your biggest critics. So keep being a critic because you keep giving me the fire to work harder and to work for the people that know that I get the job done. So I love what I do. I've learned over the years how to deal with adversity. And anybody that does something, if you want to say hurt me, they didn't hurt me. They were ordained to do what they had to do to make me a better person. So I thank all those people who ever betrayed me because you made me a better person.
I like that.
My work ethic speak for itself.
Yeah.
So be very careful because a lot of the candidates that are walking around now, they're catching up the boots that I already did 3 decades. So just look at me as a writing candidate. All I need is one of your votes. You'll see more about that, but my job won't stop. We got a fundraiser coming up. Also, really pay attention to what helps you and what focus you have to do at your home. I've been working on my mental health. I say that all men of color and men, period, we don't speak about mental health enough.
That's right.
Uh,
That's right.
it's taboo. I'm glad in our community we are speaking about mental health a lot more.
Yes.
But we have a lot of work. But let's stop badgering each other. Let's stop beating each other, and let's find the solutions to make it a better Boston.
Absolutely.
And that's all I'm working on. I can work with any administration from in that house or from outside. It doesn't matter. What we need is dedicated people to make a change in our community. And I hope I can get one and count on one of your votes in September.
I do agree with you on that. And you're doing a lot for the community as well. Like you said, you're giving back. The city has been good to you.
Great.
So you're giving back. And I can appreciate that as well. I want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Would you, when he becomes mayor, would you emerge with him? And you never know.
I'll be honest. Whoever wins, just like we got Trump in office, whoever's the leader, you have to find a way to work with him. And that's the beauty about this type of work that I do. Even the candidates that, if you want to say I'm running against, because this is what I truly believe in nonpartisan politics, it's the people's seat. So you got to earn that respect every day.
Yeah.
Right? Like when I played football, when I played basketball, when I did music, I have to earn your respect. I don't care if you're my friend. I care, yes, but let me be careful with that before they take it out and cut it up, right?
Yeah.
I have to earn your vote. And that's what not people do. You get caught up in relationship. A good friend doesn't make a buddy. A good friend doesn't make a relationship, right? So we have to start factoring what are these people doing in our community and hold them accountable.
Yeah.
And we don't. You'll see right now a lot of people, I'll be transparent, man. 95% of the stuff that the city's doing right now, they bid it from us. Point blank.
Yeah.
We got movies in the community now. We were doing that in Roxbury. My DJs.
I'm a witness to that.
Title team DJs. It got stolen from underneath them. Now they hit them back a few years later, like they're doing it. Video shows. They're picking who they want to blow up.
Yeah.
This is our community. Stop letting outside interest groups come into our hometown and dictate to us what it is that we are. Boston is a beautiful, vibrant place. We've come a long way. We can accept outsiders coming on in, but you got to understand the program. The bottom line, I'm for Bostonians, Bostonians first. I can work with anybody. Immigration, you can't say I'm not going to be with immigration because my family is immigrants, right? But like Kraft had mentioned earlier in the show, did Domingo. We're worried about the immigrants who are causing the problems, not the immigrants who are doing bad. All right? So we have to work on that. Right? But we have to really focus and buckle down. Housing, mass and caps, all these things, money that we spent. A lot of people probably slept on the proposal that I told the governor and the mayor. There's a lot of military property, right? That's just sitting there getting dust. They could have moved everybody in there and built a serious infrastructure behind it. But as long as we have people that are not happy to hold the fire to our elected officials and just yup you to death and just say, yeah, good job. No, we have to buckle down and know the difference between partisan and nonpartisan politics and understand what the job of a mayor, a councilor at large, and a city councilor does. That's why one of the things when it comes to schools, I definitely want to bring back civics. We were like one of the last generations who really wrapped around civics. If you don't know how to fight and what the laws are, you're going to always be the banana in the tailpipe trick. You feel me? And we got to start building entrepreneur classes. Do you know what's the difference between the suburbs and us? They work on the entrepreneur spirit of it. Do you know the difference between when we go in for sports, we don't use the ideology of how it makes you a better person, team player and all that. We focus on our kids strictly to be that basketball player, that football player. But we need to start pushing science. We are brilliant people.
Yes, we are.
Right?
Yes, we are.
And I'll end here on this. When I'm in the room, yes, I'm a black man and I speak on behalf of my people. But working at the city level, I speak on behalf of humanity. Let's get it right and let's get the right officials in office and hold them accountable. And that's me too. I hope
Mhm.
I get your votes. And as I said before, we will roll out as we go more and more into it. But my total focus is on this fundraiser for the veterans at City Hall. And pray for me. Keep it going because we got a lot of
Absolutely.
work to get done in the last couple of weeks.
Absolutely. And the thing is, we all need prayer. We all need,
Mm.
the Most High God in our lives. And another thing that was mentioned with careers. Now, you can be any age that you want to and do whatever you want to as far as careers. Now, could you make that happen like a career center, not only for the young people, but also for the elderly or the middle age? We need a big career center to get people off their feet, to have them to own their own businesses as well.
What we got to do is look at the career centers that we have, and are we investing in programs that only start up for 5 years and then they're gone. Every time something leaves our community, it creates a desert, from
Yes.
healthcare to centers and all that, right? So we have to find a way to empower our Boston's public schools so we can use some of those facilities
Yes.
for inner stuff. And we got to just stop thinking about the children. We also have to help
You're
the parents.
right. You're
because we
right.
usually have the children for about 8 hours, right?
Yeah.
Then they go back into their mess,
Absolutely.
right? And they go back. So we also have to find a way to help the parents and educate the parents.
Yeah.
And let's stop trying to recreate the wheel, and let's stop stealing ideas from people. Bring the people who are doing cutting edge stuff, give them the salaries and the opportunities to do the work that they need. And I hate the word opportunity, and I always like saying the word opportunity. An opportunity is something that someone can take from you. No one can take the work that I do from me because I do it genuinely from the heart. So all those people who betrayed me and thought they were going to stop me, all you did was give me more fuel to the fire, because that's what true leadership is about. I've been proven in building leadership since I was a young man. What else do you need to ask? We got to learn to love each other, because we only spend our
Yes.
dollars in our neighborhood if once, right?
Yeah.
And even in that great day of being at the restaurant and serving my time, we still have that problem that we look for a hookup from a meal from our restaurants, but we'll go sit at a 5-star restaurant and spend double that.
Yes.
Okay? We
Yes.
cannot complain about what they're not doing and then doing the same thing to ourselves. Let's support our local stores, because usually that's the first place a young man and woman can get a job. That's the first place that starts generational wealth. You know, you look at the Abdaholic family, Nubian Notions.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? You know, there's so many families. I can go on from black to white that need the help of the city and state level.
Yes.
And stop bringing in all these yuppies taking away our city, point blank, Boston's own.
Boston.
That's right.
Absolutely. Boston's own. Yeah.
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
It's apparent that you have more vision than the average. Do you ever think about any other political aspirations? Like, other than just being city council at large, what about something bigger, like the governor or president even? Because your knowledge is so wide. It's
Yeah.
so much you've done in
Yeah.
the community.
It is.
Why just settle for
You know why?
just being a city council
I danced
at
around
this
it.
day and age?
I danced around it, but I'll be perfectly clear. People got to understand that city government works directly for you.
Okay.
I do not want to deal with them Democrats. I don't want to deal with them independents, and I don't want to deal with the Republicans. I want to work directly for you. And on that, I have to listen to party politics, right? I'm not there yet. I don't want to do that. I really love the city aspect, because think about it. When we was doing our music, when we was doing our advocacy, we didn't know anything about the Democratic Party, Independent Party, none of that. We were just some kids that were loving our music and making sure that our neighborhoods were safe, and certain of us were leaders within that, and we did things. I don't want to be under nobody's tie.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I can understand
I
that.
want to work for you directly. And not many people will say that. They'll talk it, they'll do
Yeah.
it, but no.
I can
They won't do it.
understand that.
And this is the first time in Boston history that you've seen so many people that are working for the city running for office.
Yeah.
I'm not rubbing elbows with anybody.
Mm-hmm.
I already know them all. I know who I want to work with. I know who's real. I put those in check behind the scenes. See, we get so caught up emotionally. I'm glad I'm a little bit older now because a lot of things I would have done differently, because I was that fighting tiger. But the bottom line, it's about diplomacy. How can I make this person on that side of the fence who respects me enough to help my side of the community? It's about a give and take.
Yes. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can't promise the world, but this is what I promise. I'll build a committee that'll help us figure out how we're going to fight that. But remember this, if I'm putting up a good fight, you don't leave those in the community fighting for you alone and abandoned. Because this is a lonely job. You really have to love what you do.
Wow.
Yeah.
You really have to love it.
Very important. Very
You know what I mean? Because you help someone today, tomorrow they're mad at you. And you got to understand that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's all about trust. Trust and believe.
The funny thing be, the ones who get mad are the ones that I help get grant money, the ones that I help navigate their company, the ones that I call the police and help them not get shut down. But a prophet is never recognized in his own city. So if Jesus was betrayed, who do I think I am? So I believe I'm in good company when I get betrayed.
Interesting.
What are you talking?
But unfortunately, we run out of time. But I want to thank Mr. Clifton Braithwaite for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
And, of course, my co-host, Miss NellieMae. And make sure you check us out every Mondays at 2 p.m. on Channel 15. Most of your local stations are coming soon to Cambridge on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. on Channel 9. And check us out on our website at thebeantv.com. That's thebeantv.com. And we will see you again next week.
Peace out.
And on my network, God bless the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and the Boston residents that make things happen.
And don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe.
Don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe.
Don't forget to watch the NellieMae live show.